Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron and I have a great guest with me today. You know, today I am unfortunately I don't have my lovely bride with me. She had to take care of some business, but guess what, man? We have a guest with us today, Joseph Lewis. He's gonna co-host this show with me today. Really, it's gonna be a dialogue, and so we don't want to get too much. If you don't know who we are the founders of TYRO, Kathy and I, and the Ridge Project. We are also co-creators of TYRO, and TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior. And what we get to do is we get to impart the things that we've learned through our incarceration, poverty experience, just the entitlement mentality. And now we get to go across the nation and help empower and help bring freedom to others who might find themselves in a place where they don't want to be. And how do you get out of it? But today we have with us Joseph Lewis. Joseph, thank you for coming in today.
Nice to be here.
And so Joseph has taken the time out today. I know today's a work day for you, so really thank you for coming here today. And we're just going to talk about what his challenges were while he coming out of the penitentiary and really overcoming things and becoming, you're on the path of success today, which we're really proud of. And we're going to hear about that in a minute, what you get to do. But before we get in, sorry, just really quick, just tell our audience, we're talking to guys in the penitentiary. We're talking to dads, we're going to talk about what it means to be a man of honor, a man of good character. What does TYRO mean to you? Things like that. But just since coming home, how has your life changed since becoming a TYRO?
Well, every aspect has continued to get better. Even when I think it can't get any better, it just, something else changes and opens up. As long as I'm willing to take the next steps and do the next right thing and try to be a leader for everybody around me, people I know that I work with, or people that are, just see me in my actions in my daily life. So, it's just been blessed.
So let me ask you this: as we're talking about, how did you overcome the stigma of having a prison number? That might have been the first barrier.
Well, the biggest thing was, I had a great support system. Once I got to the halfway house, there were some people that were doing reentry programs, and still stayed in contact with, some people from the TYRO program, and they just helped me along the way, phone calls and texting and checking on me and being there for me when I needed somebody to talk to. And it's just one step at a time and really just doing the next right thing.
Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Because I tell you what, coming out of prison, I don't care. If you have a prison number, it doesn't matter whether you're white, black, brown, yellow, green. It doesn't matter. You got a label on you, right? And you got to show up and show out, right? So your support group that you're talking about, who was that?
Well, my mother was, the cornerstone. She's always, no matter what I've done and put people through, she's always been there for me and been supportive and kind of let me grow on my own. She never bailed me out and never, anything like that. But she just kind of watched and let me learn and loved me the whole way. And a lot of people from church that I go to, and like I said, Kevin Sheehy from the TYRO program and Stephen Roberts from the TYRO program were always there when I called and, came to see me and really helped pick me up. And I got connected with the right people at the right time. And it was just a blessing, man.
Well, that is awesome. You mentioned Kevin Sheehy. He works out of the what we had at that time, the Dayton office.
Absolutely.
And he's a strong TYRO and former inmate. He served federal penitentiary.
Absolutely.
And to see his life turn around and become successful and now impart to others. And so one of the things that I really love today in our studio today, Joseph didn't come alone. We're going to talk about this later on. But who did you bring with you today?
I brought my one and only child, my little Joseph Jr.
Joseph Jr. And how old is Joseph now?
He just turned 10 in May.
Wow, man. And he's a big boy. So we are really excited. So listen, we're going to get deep into this conversation and we come back. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. We have a special guest in the house, TYRO Joseph Lewis.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You will begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine Tiarina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions. purpose, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO, and of course, unfortunately, I do not have my bride Catherine with me. And so it's, as I work this angle here with Joseph today, you know what, I'm learning and growing too, because you know what, I'm usually don't fly solo, but it's kind of exciting, to do a little interview on one-on-one here. So with that regard, everybody, let's just give it up for Joseph right now, man. Man, I tell you what, we are excited. We are pumped to have you here with us because you're the real McCoy. You're the real deal. You were locked up. You were incarcerated. You came out, and you've been out for a little while now, but you're no longer on parole, correct?
Absolutely. No
right?
PRC.
You know PRC. You got a job, right?
Great job.
And last thing, I thought I heard you say you have an apprenticeship, or?
Yeah, tool and die maker at Ernst Metal Technologies.
Whoa. I didn't hear that part. A tool and die maker? Okay, I thought those were extinct. I thought they don't even have those no more.
Well, they do.
Wow. So since you were there, okay, tell us, when you got out, did you have that job waiting for you, or?
No, actually, being a felon, I had to start at the bottom. I got a job making $10 an hour, hard labor, and just continued to pray and taking that next step forward and fighting, and opportunities opened up, and I was prepared to take them.
So you looked at the challenges that you were facing, and you said, I'm not going to run from it. I'm going to overcome them.
Yeah, my whole life I had been going steady at it a little bit and then just run. So this time I really wanted to try something different, in the TYRO program, and all these other situations in my life, had built this character in me that it was just time to stop running. It was you had to face the fear and just.
Do you remember what fear stands for, TYRO? That's a good word. I mean, I know it's been a while. Face everything and recover, right? Not face everything and run.
Absolutely.
Right.
Can't do that.
So what's really exciting about that is that you said a tool and die. I mean, that's a lot of money. From what last I heard, they once you get done and once you're in it and.
This is my first year in, and I'm bringing home over $1,000 a week. So
wow, congratulations!
It's coming from $10 an hour,
yeah.
Struggling to bring home $400 a week, and less than a year and a half later,
congratulations.
I'm able to really provide. So
congratulations! It takes a lot of math, don't it?
Sometimes. I mean, math has always been my strong suit,
yeah.
It's not been too big of an issue. But it's it just really takes focus and a willingness to with other things in life, just a willingness to continue to make progress.
So how did you when you met this company and then you had to tell them your story, right? You had to tell them where you came from.
Yeah, they know my background. So.
Right. So how did they embrace you right away, or did they say, you know what, we'll give you a chance? I mean, of course they did give you a chance, but did you have to? You had to persuade them? Or?
I actually got interviewed for inventory management, got hired for that. I was there about a month, and there was an older gentleman that's been in the trade for 35, 40 years. He was out there working by himself every night, and I didn't feel that was right. I jumped out there and started helping him, and the next thing I know, a month, two months later, hey, we want you out here doing tooling. So they offered me an apprenticeship and. It gave me a nice increase and
wow. So what you're saying is you did your job and then some.
Absolutely.
So that's what we talk about, gentlemen. That's what we talk about, dads. When you're a TYRO, right? Not only do you do what's required of you, but you look at what else can I do to get ahead or to make that company better. But in your case, you saw an individual that you felt it was unfair for him to do all that work by himself and nobody's helping him. So let me go out and help this guy. And then you return, and you weren't even looking for that, were you?
I wasn't expecting anything.
Right.
I mean, most other places I've been employed, taking the extra step was always just kind of overlooked. But I think that was more of a perspective issue with me. I always felt like I was being overlooked because that was just something inside of me.
Entitlement mentality.
When I went out there and did it for the right reasons, I didn't do it to try to get more money. I did it because I just wanted to be, a blessing to somebody instead of a burden for once in my life. And
it paid off.
It paid off well.
Wow, man, that is awesome. That is awesome. So let me ask you this. So there's a part of your life that you had to really challenge, that you were challenged, and that's your son.
Absolutely.
Right, and the mother of your son.
Absolutely.
Right. So you and I talked during break, and you told me that that you have full custody of your son.
Yes.
And I do want to talk about that. Listen to that. He has full custody of his son. Now, nothing, I'm not going to talk about the mama, right? Your son's mom, not like that. But just, how did that happen?
Well, making the right choice and being prepared, whether I got custody or not. I just wanted to be in his life and be around him. And, I missed a lot of time with him when I was out there doing things my way. And I was determined that I was going to be a part of his life as much as possible. And his mother kind of understood the situation, that it was better right now for him to be around me, for the most part. And it was a miracle. I mean, nothing short of a miracle, but determination and just doing the next right thing and just fighting for it continuously.
I love how you say that, doing the next right thing, because you're doing the right thing right now. Right. So the next thing, it will also be the right thing. And having that attitude, you're already predicting your future. What's your future? Doing the next right thing, right? No matter what that looks like.
Absolutely.
Doing that, and I love that. And so you came out. You had you got in the hustle and grinding, $10 an hour, whatever it took. Then you found yourself a good opportunity. You took it, worked your way into tool and die apprenticeship program, which is nothing to sneeze at. This is serious stuff. The tool and die maker, all that type of stuff, right? And now full custody of your son, right? So did you still owe child support, or you ain't paying?
No, his mother and I have been together the whole time, last 12 years, the whole time I was, in prison and got out. We just recently, things just weren't panning out for us, and so I didn't have to pay any child support, which was a blessing. But, I know there is help out there for people that do, with child support. They do have county programs now to help guys get on their feet, especially, being convicted felons or, having multiple numbers even. So, there's always a way out if you're just willing to do the next right thing and just take one step at a time. And,
That's good stuff. Listen, we got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to continue to talk with Joseph Lewis and really get to hear about his future and what he's dreaming about now that he's out in the free world and living the American dream. Absolutely. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tiarina, and today we have a special guest with us, Joseph Lewis. And Joseph has come to be with us today to really talk about what's it like being home from prison? What's it like being a dad? What's it like, owning your story? What's it like getting ahead in life, right? No longer struggling check by check, no longer struggling, wondering what you're going to do tomorrow, because you have an agenda, you have a dream. And that's what we want to talk about in this next segment. Joseph, share with us, since coming home, you worked hard. You did the job you didn't want to do till you were able to get the job you wanted to do. Now you're doing the job you love to do, right? But what are you dreaming about now? What's going on? Tell me about your present and your future.
Well, right now I'm doing some service work with my church and some of the other meetings I go to and some community work, but it's my next step and my big dream is to, really get my testimony into a book and really get it out there for people to read. And, maybe somebody can hear something they need to hear to change their life. And maybe I can play a role in that. And I'd really love to be a mentor, just like the mentor I had, to lead me and kind of guide me. And when my head starts hanging a little heavy and getting low, they pick you up and they're there waiting on you and love you anyway, even when they don't really know you that well. And that's just, I think it's a privilege to be that, and I just want to be that for somebody.
That's
to be
good. That's
there.
good. So when you think about giving back like that, and you mentioned working on your book and writing it, so and that I want to really encourage you to do that. So let me ask you this: what do you? So now that you have your son and you're full custody, what are you trying to build there? We have a saying as TYRO, real men, we don't play house. What do? We build them,
We
right?
build 'em.
Yeah, we build them. And so as you build this new idea, this new way of life for your son, what are you dreaming about? What type of legacy are you looking at?
Well, not only do I want to be a man worth following, but I want to teach him that way so he can be a man worth following, and hopefully one day have grandchildren that can continue that legacy on, and not just, be good men, but great men that stand out and people say, I want to be like him. I want to give back to those around me, and I want to be a blessing to everyone around me. And, that's a privilege, and I think that's the whole point of life for me is, to give back what was given to me, completely free. It wasn't something that cost me anything. It wasn't, it was just a blessing, man.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So if you're looking at your future, what would your future look like? What is it you're trying to build? I know you're trying to build a home for your kids, but what would that look like when you think about it, man? This is how we dream. We got to see it, and then we want to set the goals and the steps on how to get there.
Absolutely, and really the only picture I try to paint for myself is, to keep God first and to do His work and to be happy, joyous, and free, and to really spend quality time, and it's like real child support is not just about paying money to somebody, but being there to support your child, and, and all the ups and the downs and the lefts and the rights, and, and teaching them, the right way. And, that's really my biggest dream right now is just to really lead him down the right path.
That's good.
So
that's good. And you know what? That means you got to be present. That means you got to be right
Absolutely.
there in his life. That's one thing that I didn't get to do. When I was in prison, I didn't get to teach my sons how to shave. I didn't get to teach them how to ride a bike. My wife did that. I didn't get to talk to them first about the birds and the bees and, what do you do when a girl and all that. I didn't get to do that with my sons because I was all about me. I was so selfish when I found myself in prison. I took all that for granted, right? And I think that's what you're saying. You no longer take that
absolutely not.
For granted. Absolutely not. So, okay, so if there's one thing that you could tell dads that are out there that are listening to us right now, what would that be? What would if there was a couple words, if there was something that you want to tell dad right now that could, if he's not awake, that could maybe wake them up, what would that be?
You never know how much time you have left, and when your next decision may be your last. So you've got to take what you have now and live in that moment and give it the best that you have, and and not just be comfortable giving, give what you think you can, give a little extra, and just keep fighting and try to keep your focus off of yourself. A lot of us, humans in general try to, we get this self-centeredness and this self-seeking stuff going on, and it tends to overtake every aspect of our life. And even when we're doing something right for someone else, most of the time we have selfish motives, and it's difficult to get past that. But you put one foot in front of the other, and just continue to fight the good fight and do the next right thing.
Next right thing. That's awesome. So the dads that we're talking to, they're some might be going home tomorrow, some might be going home for a year. If there's an action step that you could give them while they're waiting to come home to their family, what was it that you would tell them to do right now that they can still leave an impact in their family? What would you suggest for them to do?
Well, I can only really speak for myself, but what worked for me was just patience and staying connected with the people that were there for me. From the TYRO program to all the way through these other things, that people that reached out to me and that were there for me and supported me. Keep in contact with them and let them support you, and reach out when you need support, because you can't do it alone. And that's what we're all here for. And the fellowship of this program and so many others that we just stay connected.
Yeah, I tell you what, when you say stay connected, that's by telephone, letters.
Absolutely.
And now they got emails, right? JPay and all those type of new apparatuses that you can stay connected. So really, no matter what, I remember when I would write my son's letters and they wouldn't write me back, so I quit writing them. My wife says, "Well, why aren't you writing the boys?" I said, "They don't write me back." She said, "They're only 5." Because I was still taking it personal.
Absolutely.
That they wouldn't write me, but they're babies, right? And so that stay connected, write the letters, stay connected, dads, because even in their you have an impact. You have the ability to change the course and the direction of your children, even from behind bars. You know, if you're not doing it, why? You know, what's the excuse you're giving yourself that you're not doing it? You know, as we wrap up this next segment, I just want to encourage you, we're going to come back, we're going to wrap up this whole show, and we're going to give Joseph a little bit more time to talk to us about his experience and what we can glean and learn from him. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tirina, and we are having a great time with our special guest, Joseph Lewis. And I'll tell you what, I've been blessed just sitting here with you and just hearing your story and talking, you know, in between sets here and hearing more about your adventures. And what I want to do is for this we got the last segment here before we close it all up. I do want to give you the opportunity. You know, you were something you said earlier in the show. You talked about one key ingredient, one secret ingredient to like the key to success, the key to re-entering society, the key to re-entering your family, the key to not going back to prison. And the first one you mentioned, and I'm going to say the first one, and I know you got a couple more that you're going to be delivering, but the first one was patience. Can you talk a little bit, Joseph? What does that mean, patience? You know? Well,
you got to stay steady, keep a steady hand, and understand the circumstances that you're in. You're in them for a reason. Mm. You know, there's lessons to be learned and things to pick up and character being built. Mm. And with those, it takes time and it takes, you know, tolerance and love and patience. I mean, you've got to be patient and absorb everything you can, you know, because too many times, I mean, I countless trips in and out of county and then going to prison and this continuous cycle. And it was like, I didn't absorb the lesson deep enough. I was like, hurry up, get my time over with. I can't wait to get out and hit the door. And you know, I didn't absorb what I was really supposed to be learning. I wasn't picking up all the things that I was supposed to be picking up. Yeah. You know, and I wasn't holding on to them tight enough. So, you know, just the situations you're in, you know, capitalize on them. I love that what you said you didn't absorb the lessons you were supposed to get, and then you didn't hold them tight enough. Right. You didn't. When you hold something tight, that means you hold it dear to you. Absolutely, intimacy. Oh man, I love that. I love that. Okay, so what would be number two? What would be the second one? You know, just be kind to people and understand that you're not always going to get treated the way you want to be treated or the way you expect. You know, and to do that all the time, even when you think nobody's looking and nobody's paying attention, because you know somebody's always watching and somebody's always seeing that, and not only that, but making sure that your motives are clear, that you're not doing it, you know, for praise and glory of yourself, you know, but you're doing it to really build somebody up. And, you know, and the progress with that is that you're really building yourself up with them. Right. You know, and that's another thing with that word fellowship. And it's, we can build a life together, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think being kind in prison is really hard.
It is. It's very
You know,
difficult.
that's a discipline that it takes a lot of patience
Absolutely, it
to
does.
be kind, because it's a self-surviving world, man. You're
Absolutely.
on your own. You come in alone, I go out alone. That's the mentality, but that's not the truth. You know?
Absolutely not.
That's awesome. Okay, if there was one more, what would it be?
Not only the steps that we take and the progress we make, but the continuance of it, to continue to do that, to whether you pray or whether you just meditate or whether you just making that next right choice is something that you've got to continue to do.
Be consistent.
It's too easy to drop the ball. It's too easy to not hold on to things tight and just kind of the next thing you know, they're out of your hands, and then you're on the search again trying to find it. So you just really got to be hold that intimate stuff tight, and continue to do that every day. Get up, and you don't have to wait till the end of the day to say your thanks and your praise or whatever it is that you do. Do it all throughout the day. And, so.
What I hear you also saying by adding these things, when you're consistent, if people will see your kindness. And I want to clarify that, because I remember a saying in penitentiary: just because I'm kind doesn't mean I'm weak. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness is a slogan in penitentiary, right, guys? And I think being kind shows that you are strong. It brings strength out to you.
Especially when you continue to do that.
Ooh, when you practice,
even when people damage you or return it with negativity, and you continue to be kind, people are like, wow, that's a guy I want to follow. That's a guy I want to be like.
Practice makes permanent, Tyros. That's what we're talking about here. And then the first one you mentioned was patience. I mean, I could see how all three of these just perfect fit.
Absolutely.
Patience, kindness, consistency. Because when you practice consistency, people will then begin to take you at your word, Dad. They will begin to see that you have changed and that you are a new person, and that your past does not define who you are, right? But it qualifies you for your future if you're consistent, if you're kind, and if you're patient, right? And that's awesome. Joseph, what I really also loved what you're talking about is not being a burden. You said that way earlier in the show.
Absolutely.
That you're now an asset.
Absolutely.
And I want to congratulate you. I just want to say I'm so proud of you, so thankful to be here with you at our studio, but really just proud of you that you've been able to face everything and recover, but face the challenges, the custody of your child. How do you make a living, and not letting the label of a convict or ex-con or that hold you back, but really understand that if you wanted people to take you serious, right, you had to take this life serious.
Absolutely.
Right? No longer having recess all day long.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I want to just commend you and thank you for that. Listen, when we come back, we're going to wrap all this up, and so stay tuned, and we are having a good time with Joseph Lewis, and I'm really blessed and honored to be in this room with him. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine Tiarina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tirina, and we have some special guests with us today, Joseph Lewis. He has driven all the way here, and we are so thrilled to have him with us at this particular junction in his life, when he's able to take time out to come and give back to the Tyros and the men who are still currently incarcerated, to really show that there's life after what? There's life after what?
There's life after incarceration.
Life after incarceration. Okay, so wrapping all this up and everything we talked about, you came out of penitentiary, had to find a job, took the job, job you didn't want to do, but you took it and you did it till the job came along that you wanted. You found the job that you wanted, and not only did you do that job, but you did it and then some. And you seen somewhere needed help in that job. Boom! It caused somebody else to see you, right?
Absolutely.
And you didn't do it to get noticed. You did it because it was the right thing to do. It was the next right thing to do. Got you promoted. Got you a raise. Got you to be now you're in an apprenticeship program. Right. Oh my gosh, I can just see this journey happening, this progress. And so one of your desires is to write your book, right? Mentor, give back to the community, which you're already doing, right? But this last segment, you left us with 3 powerful words. And it was patient, kind, and being consistent in being the new you. So if there's something else, Joseph, I really want them to hear from you. Because we're trying to empower people, man. Dads, listen, man. If Joseph can do it, if I can do it, I served 15 years in prison, not for a crime I didn't commit. It doesn't matter that I didn't commit. I was there because I couldn't be taken at my word, man. When you can't be taken at your word, you're gonna find yourself in places you don't want to be. Period. Right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Every time.
Every time. So if by leaving something one more time, Joseph, by leaving something to these guys, man, to empower them, what would that be?
You just got to stop believing the lies that you've told yourself for so long that, you're not worth it, that you're not good enough, or that, it's going to be too difficult, because you can do it. We can do it. We can recover. We can face these things, and practice makes permanent. It doesn't make perfect. It makes permanent. Yeah. And it works if you work it and just continue at it. And when you start feeling down and out and feeling like your head's getting heavy and your hands are getting heavy and you're dragging your feet, that's what that stay connected. Pick up that phone, send an email, write a letter, reach out and let somebody know, let somebody lift you up, and be that way. You can't do it by yourself. So don't sit here and think that you have to, or that you're weak because you need help. It takes strength to reach out, and it takes strength to continue to do the right thing and be consistent with things. And it's not easy. Nobody ever said it was, but nothing in life, that's easy is worth having. It doesn't last very long. So, that's right. Keep your head up and fight and just continue to do the next right thing every time.
Being a TYRO, which is a warrior, right, at heart, but knowing what we're fighting for, and that's what we have here. So if you could do one more thing for me, I'm going to say it, then you say your name. Say, I'm going to close out, and then we're going to close out together. And so listen, everybody, this is an amazing time right now. You are in a place that you can change not only your life, but the lives around you. Take advantage of this downtime in your life. Learn all you can, grow all you can. The world needs you, and they're excited to have you, believe it or not, right, when you're a TYRO. So my name is Ron TYRO, and I am a TYRO.
I'm Joseph Lewis, and I am a TYRO.
And always remember that we are rooting for you.